Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am here to do my review on Married at First Sight, Season 10 Reunion Review. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for joining the family. And to all of my nieces and nephews who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. I have watched this review yesterday, and I believe that it was one of the worst reunion shows that I have ever seen in my whole black life. And we're going to get started. As we all know, Jessica and Austin are having a wonderful marriage. They had problems with him traveling the first month of their marriage, and they said that it was really rough. When he came back off of vacation, all of the work from the office was dumped on him, and he had to, do all the trips that everybody had been doing for him. Okay, he had to fulfill his IOUs. But despite the fact the two of them stayed together, and they are happily married. At the end, we see that Austin gave Jessica a wedding, an engagement band, completing her set. And so we say bravo to the two of them. They were just the ideal couple for what Married at First Sight should have been, probably 8 seasons back, okay? But anyway, I digress and we move on. The next couple I want to talk about is Mika and Michael. Basically, Mika is just the same old Mika. They got into a conversation with Kevin. Kevin was the host of the show, and they were having a conversation about the yoga issue. So he asked Michael, was he a yoga teacher or whatever. So Mika, inserted herself and basically said that when Michael invited her to go to the yoga thing, that she was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead on and go. And when she got there, she was told that he did not work there. And as with any smart woman, she began to do her research and called every effing yoga studio in the DMV area, okay, District of Maryland and Virginia, and found out that he was not a yoga teacher. So Kevin said that, when he was watching him do his moves and namaste and everything, that he knew, from just his form and the things that he was doing, that he was not a yoga teacher. So he asked him point blank, Michael, are you a yoga teacher? He said, yes, I am. I am a young yoga teacher at the C school where I work. Now we know, of course, when Michael is lying, that his hand goes up and his lips get pursed, and he's we know that this is his style. So of course, when he hesitated and his hand went up and he got to the half yarn and said that he did it at the C school and that he was a yoga teacher, that means that he never was a yoga teacher then. But here's the question that I have been wanting someone to ask. What happened to the Jamaica trip? Did they ever go on Jamaica? Did he give her the ticket? Did he show her an itinerary? Did he show Mika anything? Like, why hasn't anyone asked what happened with the Jamaica trip? I am so curious because this is what happened on their 1 month anniversary. And I'm just curious. He sat on the boat. Mika said that was the best time that she had had with him when they, celebrated their 1 month anniversary. They asked Michael, Michael, what was your favorite time or the best time that you had with Mika? And he said it was a wedding day, because it was, everything was new. We have listened to Mika talk over and over and over again about Michael being dishonest and his dishonesty. In my opinion, it just feels like the whole thing is just a continuous repeat of everything. Okay, so I'm just like, all right, Michael, it is what it is what it is until it's not what it's not. But Michael is just, he's just a liar. And he uses that almost as if it's a disability, if you will. Everything that has happened in his life has all been a result of him being adopted. And I'm wondering, even if that's a lie, because, okay, so don't go there, Auntie. So, anyway, basically, Mika apologizes for not being soft, for being a hard woman. And Michael apologizes for not always being honest. No, bitch, you weren't ever honest. He was never honest about anything. So, I mean, his apology would have gone from one ear on out the other one, did a split and bust his ass down the street. It's no way in the world I would have wanted to even hear an apology from him after you've taken me through this for 8 weeks and then get there the day of decision day and act like you shocked and surprised by it. But again, Mika's not perfect. And Mika had a lot of problems too. But his outweighed hers, and so we focused on that. The next couple I want to talk about is Katie and Derek. Basically, Katie was, allegedly having an affair on Derek from day two. Now, we all saw that she was, contemplating staying with this ex boyfriend. She came into the relationship with the ex boyfriend. Derek indicated that Katie, after, decision day, and they had gotten their apartment and everything, that Katie confessed to him that she was cheating. He said, first she said, let's be friends. Okay, because I guess maybe she wanted to stay on the health insurance. I don't know what it was that motivated her after decision day, after she had already dogged this man and dragged him so much. She had the audacity to say that she stayed in the relationship because she was hoping it was going to work. Katie, in my opinion, made sure that it didn't work because she picked and picked and picked at this man's manhood and at his man esteem, okay? His man esteem, his self esteem. She picked at that the whole entire time. She always was quick to tell him what he did not do. Kevin flat out asked her, what did you do? She says, well, I initiated the romance or I initiated sex. And so he was like, again, tell me what you did. We saw Derek be very kind to you and loving to you and get a family portrait and all of that kind of stuff. We saw him wine you and dine you. But what did you do? And Katie couldn't answer it because she wasn't a giver in the relationship. I don't know what her love language is. I mean, I just really don't. Yeah. Excuse me, y'all. But Katie absolutely was just, a hot tail mess. And that's just in my opinion. So when, they revealed that she had been cheating on Derek, I wasn't shocked. Were you? Put that down in the comment section. Whether or not you were shocked or not, because I really wasn't. I think that, the cameras covered it up for her. Did not, weren't really interested in it showing anything about her, but I mean, it is what it is. So Derek, again, as I said that someone had told him day two that she had cheated on him after the second day they were married. Okay. Now, I don't know how she did that because they were on a honeymoon, but maybe he meant 2 weeks after they were married. Maybe I heard it wrong, but he did not want to tell who had told him this. We could tell by spanning the room that it was Taylor because the camera stayed on Taylor and it showed Taylor's frantic behavior. She was so afraid that Derek was going to go back on his word. Plus, he had closely related to her more so than anybody else. So if anybody was going to stir the pot, it absolutely was going to be Taylor. But he kept it a secret. All of the girls ended up, they got 10, written on their, tattooed on their fingers, okay, to symbolize their friendship and being on Married at First Sight season 10. This was something that was initiated by Mindy, okay? And so, they all have this bond with one another. So come by hook or by crook, they're not going to, really want Katie to know that they were the ones that snitched on her. But I'm sure that Katie knows who she said this to and said this around, so she can just narrow it down to Taylor, bitch. Because, I mean, at this point, Taylor is the bad guy and Taylor does everything wrong in Auntie's eyesight. So anyway, she goes on and talks about how much she dislikes Derek and how he's a boy and everything. And, he wasn't in love, and wasn't capable of loving, and that she had been in love before. So Kevin asked her, this guy that you cheated with, was this a relationship that you wanted to be in? And so Katie was like, I was not in the relationship because I loved him. I was in a relationship with him because it was a physical connection. And so I was like, oh, okay, then that absolutely answers most of the questions that I had in my head. Katie, as we all know, her and Derek was hot and heavy from the first time, from the honeymoon on, okay? And this is something that she equates to love. And so that all of that masculine energy that she has displayed, in my opinion, confirmed that she just, she thinks like a man. She equates sex to love, and sex isn't love, okay? Sex is a part of love. You bring that into a loving relationship, but sex ain't love, boo. You can have sex with anybody. All right. I never heard her even talk about how she, like she just was a freak for the week. All right. And I'll get into why I believe that she was the freak for the week. The last couple that I want to talk about is, not the last couple. The next couple that I want to talk about is Taylor and Brandon. Taylor came up with this fantastic story indicating that she and Brandon, wait a minute, Kevin started off indicating that Taylor and Brandon have restraining orders against one another. Evidently, they went to court for a hearing to get these restraining orders, and all the girls showed up. I'm sure that all the girls showed up in support of Taylor. But who can't see through Taylor's stuff? Taylor did not handle this relationship right the whole entire time. Not one time did Taylor try to protect Brandon. And that is not to say that Brandon isn't dead wrong about his behavior as it relates to the trip to Panama, him cursing on the bus, him being a complete and total butthole with the cast and the crew. Okay? We're not going to say that Brandon is an angel, but we certainly are not going to put Taylor in heavenly places. Taylor indicated that the reason why the two of them have a restraining order against each other is because she is dating a new guy. He met her for drinks. She said that they had bar hopped and went from restaurant and bar to restaurant and bar. If what Taylor is saying is true, Taylor was already toe up from the flow up. So Taylor says that she went to a bar that Brandon said he would never go in again. So she decided, because her friend was saying, show me around, that she would go to this bar that Brandon said he would never go in. This place was Brandon's place of employment. So Taylor goes in with her boyfriend. She says that her and her boyfriend were up on the rooftop. Sounds like this might have been around 8th Street. If it wasn't 8th Street, it probably was you. But anyway, I digress. Taylor says that she goes into this restaurant and her boyfriend is up at the bar. She comes down the steps to get water. She says the next thing that you know, that Brandon is taking a picture of her and her boyfriend. Her story doesn't connect. It doesn't make sense. And she's overtelling the story. She's trying to take us from step to step to step. And when you do that, you often miss one and fall flat on your ass. And Taylor, I'm afraid you did. How in the dog did he get a picture, ask for a picture of the two of you all if your boyfriend was up at the rooftop? She said that when she went to go and get some water, which means that she was extremely drunk. Anytime you're starting to drink water, you're trying to bring yourself down. Okay, you realize that you're out of control. All of a sudden, you're downstairs and upstairs, Taylor, at the same time. Like, that's just humanly impossible. She says that, Brandon laughed and everything, and that she was like, no, why are you taking pictures of us? And she went back over to him to tell him not to take pictures. First of all, if you don't like Brandon, like you said, and Brandon doesn't like you, why would you even go into the bar? According to you, you don't even live in D.C. For real, for real. You live in Baltimore and allegedly work at the Hopkins, which I don't believe. But I've had an opportunity, as many of you all have, to see Taylor's records on Maryland Judicial Case Search.gov. And you, boo, got a lot of explaining to do about the rap sheet or the alleged rap sheet that is attached to your name. She says that she was arrested and she had never been arrested. Then who is this other person who seems to have the same name that you have? Who is this person? She says that, basically, the police were called. Brandon told his story and she told hers. But Brandon, unfortunately, allegedly was disinvited from the reunion because of the restraining order. But guess what? He still could have Skyped in, but he can't Skype in because he doesn't have a good relationship with the camera crew. In my opinion, it was a setup for Brandon's failure. Here you had all these people that were sitting around telling Taylor's story with nobody to tell Brandon's. Kevin tried to have Michael defend him by asking him questions on what he believed. Michael said that he doesn't believe that Taylor is without fault. But that conversation soon unfolded with Michael walking off of the stage and going into the back of the, in the dressing room and being closely followed by Kevin. And an altercation started between the two of them because Michael said, I don't feel like it's fair for me to have to justify his behavior. I'm not here for that. I'm here for my stuff. And I don't see it the way that they do. And I'm the only person who is defending Brandon, and that should not be my place. So basically, he was trying to play the black card, and Kevin was like, as a black man, he felt like Brandon was irresponsible. You know what I'm saying? It was just out of control, and he was dead ass wrong. But never did anybody talk to Taylor about how Taylor would not get out of this man's face when he was in the bathroom at the resort when they were all the couples were together. She needed to get out of that bathroom. She should have backed down when that man told her to get out. When he told her to back up out of his face, she should have done that. But she never got checked about this. And I don't know why they're trying to play the card that Taylor is the victim in this. They both, in my opinion, victimize each other in multiple ways. And they both are entirely like they're just not stable. Neither one of them. But I did not like how Lifetime, tried to make Brandon look. He didn't even need any help to look bad. But you could have at least allowed him to write a statement or something in defense of himself. And again, I know that he has been abusive with the cameraman and all of that kind of stuff. I know that. And the producers. I know that. But he still should have had the opportunity to face his accuser. And Mika was steady running her mouth. But Mika, you got problems deep enough to swim in, boo. And I thought that I think and I thought that it was unfair. At least let the boy, like I said, write a statement. Let him write something and tell his side of the story. The only thing that they had was his affidavit or his protective order information. The information you got to put on the protective order in order to get one. Other than that, he had nobody in his back, in his corner, except for Michael. And it was unfair to ask Michael to cover for Brandon, especially in a room full of sharks and women who are bitter and unhappy because their relationships didn't work, including Mindy. Because at the end of the day, this relationship was between Taylor and Brandon. Let her get on there with her bad hair. Let her get on there and tell her lies. Because her story that she used, it didn't add up. Once you were told by Brandon that he was taking pictures, you should have left out. She says that he followed her. He followed you. He stopped, and then you went after him. Girl, bye. All of the girls said that they had went and testified. So the next couple that I want to talk about is Mindy and Zach. Mindy basically had her heart broken by Zach. Zach indicated that he is not there for the cameras, although it seemed like he was. He said that, he got into the relationship and he wasn't ready. He was shocked that he was, basically married. It's called Married at First Sight. Zach continued to lie and talk and tap dance around everything. And Mindy is trying to be that I'm that ride or die girl. I'm that girl that got it together. I'm that girl that's never going to allow anybody to hurt me. I am that reformed girl. I am that strong woman. I am a woman. Hear me roar, bitch. But Mindy, we can see through the facade. We can see that you still are broken down. She brings out her girlfriend. Her girlfriend alleges that Zach was indeed having a relationship with the girlfriend, and she believes that the girlfriend would do anything to one up Mindy, to make Mindy unhappy. So what happened in the relationship between Mindy and the girlfriend? Where is that competition coming from? I just was completely bored with them. Even with the girlfriend coming in and not being able to verify the information, I thought was a waste of time. What I did find interesting is that Katie actually went on a date with Zach. Zach said he blew it off. Katie said that Zach invited her to dinner and to a date. And then, he says the same thing. He says he didn't invite her. She invited him. At the end of the day, Katie said that she didn't go through with it because she didn't want to hurt Mindy. She called Mindy on the phone and told Mindy that she had went out with her man. But Katie, you the pass around girl now? So you basically had your eye on Zach too. And neither one of them are trustworthy. So did anything happen to them? Did they scoop the boots? These people off the mofo chain. Do y'all hear me? This reunion, it was just tired. It was just tired, done, and through. And even if I thought that it was going to be exciting, like, it's just not exciting because it just was a whole bunch of drama. The same old, same old. And I honestly do not believe that next season I am going to be reviewing Married at First Sight. I believe that I am retiring this show because it's just not that interesting to me. And I would like to pick up something that is going to be interesting to me and that's going to challenge me. something that is not going to be just drama filled for no reason at all, but something that's really going to challenge my intellect and challenge my ability to be funny and to be serious all at the same time. And Married at First Sight to me absolutely drains me. Even to do this review, I feel exhausted and drained. Just drained. So I don't know whether or not I'm going to do these. I think that I am going to retire it. I do want to tell the young ladies that sent me the packages today, thank you so much. I did pick them up from the post office. They are now resting in my car so that, I could give the Rona a couple of days to get off of the packages. But I will be sure to open up those packages live on air on Sunday. Thank you all so much for coming out and looking at my final review of Married at First Sight. And I really do appreciate you all. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like what you see here. Um, and thank you all so much. Y'all have a great night. Be safe and enjoy your weekend as best as possible. Remember to stay safe, okay? Love you all. Bye.